"Welcome to Hellfire Pit." Logan Vance opened his eyes slowly. His head hurt, his mouth was dry, and something smelled like smoke and metal. The ground under him was hot and rough black stone with cracks glowing red. He tried to move, but his hands were tied with some glowing alien wire. His body ached all over. Around him, tall metal walls formed a pit. The sky was dark, covered by storm clouds, lightning flashing in the distance. Strange creatures shouted and cheered from above, standing on the walls and throwing things down into the pit. He blinked again, still confused. Where the hell am I? Suddenly, a loud robotic voice boomed from hidden speakers. "Welcome, new arrivals, to Hellfire Pit, the entertainment zone of Prison Planet 9. Today's main event, human versus Craven." Logan's heart sank. He turned to his left. A tall, red-skinned alien with 4 glowing eyes stood just a few feet away. The alien had sharp teeth, armor made from bones, and a long blade attached to his arm. His eyes locked onto Logan like a hungry predator. He growled, "You, human, I will enjoy crushing your skull." Logan gritted his teeth. Craven. Of course, one of theirs. He remembered now. His last mission raiding a Craven warship. There was an explosion, then blackness. Now he was here, a prisoner. And the Craven before him must have been captured too. The crowd roared above them. Weapons were dropped into the pit. A knife landed near Logan. He rolled, grabbed it with both tied hands, and sliced the glowing wire. The Craven charged. Logan barely got to his feet before the alien was on him. A wild punch sent him flying back, but Logan rolled, jumped up, and slashed at the alien's leg. Sparks flew. The alien didn't even flinch. He grabbed Logan and threw him across the pit like a doll. Pain shot through Logan's ribs. He gasped, barely managing to rise. "You fight like a child," the Craven sighed, walking closer. "And you talk too much," Logan replied, spitting blood. He waited for the alien to get closer, then kicked dust into his eyes and stabbed upward. The blade hit armor, but it was enough to distract. Logan ran behind him, grabbed a metal pipe from the ground, and swung with all his strength. It hit the Craven's back. The alien roared in pain, turned, and tackled Logan to the ground. They wrestled. Fists, teeth, elbows, every strike meant survival. Blood spilled from both dots suddenly. Another voice echoed from above. "The robotic AI again. Excellent performance. But we have a new rule. These two enemies will now be linked. If one dies, so does the other. Survive together for 7 cycles, or die today." A loud clank echoed. Metal cuffs shot from the wall and locked onto both their wrists, then pulled them together by a thick chain. Both men froze. "What is this?" The Craven growled, yanking the chain. Logan coughed. "Looks like we're stuck, partner." The Craven hissed and raised his blade again. "Try it," Logan said, breathing hard. "Kill me, and you die too." I just said." So, for a long moment, the alien just stood there, eyes burning. Then, slowly, he lowered the blade. "I am Corvain of Clan Drell," he said. "I do not fight with Vorms. But if you try to betray me, I will break your bones one by one." "Logan Vance," he answered, wiping blood from his face. "Special Forces Earth Division, and believe me, I don't trust you either." The crowd above booed, disappointed the fight was over. But the IS voice returned. "New game begins tomorrow. Sleep well, survivors." The lights above faded. The pit dimmed. Silence filled the space, except for the quiet hum of lava flowing beneath the ground. Logan slumped against the wall, breathing slowly. His chest hurt. His arm was cut. But he was alive. He looked over at the Craven, now sitting on the opposite side, sharpening his blade. "So," Logan said, his voice calm but tired, "any idea how we survived this place?" Corvain looked up, eyes glowing in the dark. "We kill everything that moves. Logan gave a small smile. Sounds like a plan. They were enemies by blood. Warriors on opposite sides of a galaxy-wide war. But here, on this cursed planet, their only chance to survive was together. And neither of them liked it. But fate didn't care what they liked. It only cared who survived. Chains of hatred. Morning sky above Hellfire Pit was an ugly shade of orange. The air was thick with smoke and heat. Metal walls hissed with steam. Prisoners high above watched silently, waiting to see if the two chained enemies had killed each other during the night. They hadn't, but it had been close. Logan opened his eyes slowly. His side was bruised, and his lip was cracked. He glanced across the pit. Corvain was awake, sitting still like a statue, sharpening his blade again. The chain between them lay on the ground, unmoving but always there, like a snake coiled between two lions. Still alive, Logan muttered. Shame. Corvain growled but didn't speak. The silence between them was louder than any scream. Suddenly, a siren blared from above. Day 2 challenge. Lava worm nest cleanup. You have 30 minutes to survive. Move, slaves. Without warning, the floor under them began to shift. The ground cracked. Lava bubbled from the sides. A metal gate opened ahead, revealing a dark tunnel full of moving shadows and heat waves. Logan grabbed a broken pipe for defense. Corvain picked up a long spear with a barbed tip. They moved, slowly, forced together by the chain. Stay behind. Me, Corvain said coldly. I'm not your pet, Logan snapped. We move side by side. Got it. Corvain hissed but nodded once. There was no time to argue. They entered the tunnel. Inside, the air burned their lungs. The walls were alive, shaking, twitching, full of soft, breathing movement. Then something hissed. A lava worm shot from a crack in the wall, its mouth full of burning acid and spinning teeth. Corvain stepped forward fast, stabbing it through the head. It screeched, then melted into the floor. Another worm came from above. Logan ducked and swung his pipe, smashing it into the wall. Acid splashed, burning his arm. He screamed but kept swinging. More worms attacked. The tunnel became chaos. The chain between them made it harder. Logan tripped once. Corvain yanked him up. Then Corvain slipped, and Logan caught him by the shoulder. Neither said a word. They just fought. By the time they reached the end of the tunnel, covered in burns and blood, both were breathing hard. The AI's voice returned. Challenge complete. 28 prisoners entered. 2 survived. Congratulations. The gate opened into a wide chamber where cool air blew from hidden vents. There were metal benches, clean water, and a wall screen showing a countdown for the next event. Corvain collapsed onto a bench, growling. That was not a test. That was a trap. Logan drank water, then poured some over his arm. It sizzled. This whole place is a trap. Corvain looked at him, eyes narrow. You fight well, for a human. Logan smirked. You too. For a four-eyed lizard. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Logan said, Why were you on that warship? Corvain looked away. Why do you care? Because if we're going to survive together, I should know who I'm chained to. Corvain sighed. I was sent to destroy an Earth base. My brother was with me. We were ambushed. I was captured. He was killed. Logan's expression changed. I had a brother too, he said quietly. We both joined the Earth defense. He didn't make it back from the Battle of Ares. Kravens took him. Corvin's fists clenched. Then we are enemies for good reason. Logan nodded. Yeah, we are. The silence returned, but it felt different this time. The chain between them didn't just bind their arms. Anymore, it held a strange kind of truth. Pain, loss, rage, all shared. Suddenly the wall screen lit up. A map of the prison flickered on it. Logan stood and stared. What is this? The map showed their location. But there was something else, a blinking red mark deep inside the prison core. Under it were the words, "Mainframe access." Corvain stood beside him. "That's the IS brain." Logan's mind raced. "If we shut it down." Corvain finished the sentence. "We take back control." For the first time, Logan saw something in Corvin's eyes other than hate purpose. He nodded. "Then maybe we stop being prisoners." Corvain replied, "Not yet, human, but maybe." Logan gave a tired smile. "Call me Logan." Corvain paused, then said, "Corvain." For now, they were still enemies, but in the fire of battle and the shadows of hatred. Something new was beginning. Not peace, not friendship, not yet, but the first spark of brotherhood. Trial by fire, trial by fire. The lava plain stretched wide before them, miles of black stone cracked with glowing red lines, like veins of fire. Hot winds howled. The sky above shimmered like melting glass. Logan shielded his eyes and stared. Ahead, they were deep in the scorching zone now. The IS voice had told them. Cold and cruel. Next challenge, cross the burning path. Any who fall behind will burn. Logan glanced at Corvain beside him. The craven warrior looked calm, as always, but even he was sweating now, his sharp features tense. The chain between them clinked with every step, a reminder that they lived or died together. "Let's move fast," Logan muttered. "Speed will not save us." Corvain replied, "Only precision." They stepped onto the first set of stones. The moment their weight touched down, a chunk of lava exploded behind them. The path was unstable. Some stones stayed firm, others crumbled or blew apart. Suddenly, a burst of fire shot from a wall. Logan jumped forward, barely missing it. Corvain pulled the chain to keep him from falling. "Focus," Corvain growled. "You move like a drunk crawler." "And you talk like a war manual." Logan snapped. Another trap triggered. A jet of superheated steam blasted up. Corvain pushed Logan out of the way and took the hit on his shoulder. His armor melted slightly, skin beneath blistering. He hissed in pain. Logan turned, grabbing him. "You okay?" Corvain nodded. "Keep going." They moved again, step by step. The world around them was alive with heat, noise, and death. Every second was a gamble. Their boots smoked. The chain glowed red hot. Then Logan stopped in the middle of the path. Something shiny caught his eye. A body lay ahead, half melted, burned black. The armor was familiar, human-made. Logan rushed over, ignoring Corvin's warning. "Logan, wait!" But Logan had already knelt by the body. He turned the burned face gently. His heart froze. No. It was Miles, a soldier from his old unit. One of the few who survived a race with him. He'd vanished during the last mission. No one knew where he went. Now Logan knew, on Miles' chest. Something was blinking, a tiny projector. Logan picked it up and pressed the button. A weak, flickering hologram appeared. Miles' voice played, slow and pained. "If you found this, I'm probably gone." The AI lied. "This isn't just a prison. It's an experiment. It's learning from us, every fight, every choice. It grows smarter, stronger." The recording glitched. "But there's a way in. Mainframe is below Sector 13. I marked it in the map. Tell Earth. Stop sending more soldiers." Then the message ended. Corvain stared at Logan. "You knew him?" Logan nodded, jaw tight. "He saved my life once. I didn't know they sent him here. Your kind sends their heroes to die?" Corvain asked quietly. Logan stood. "Only when the ones in charge are cowards." He looked out over the fire fields. "We're not just surviving anymore. We're going to end this." Corvain nodded. "Then we follow your friend's trail." Just then, the ground shook violently. A lava beast burst from under the stones 20 feet tall. Molten skin, eyes like burning coals. It roared, spraying liquid fire across the path. Logan and Corvain jumped back. Go right, Logan shouted. Corvain threw his spear. It sank into the creature's side. It screeched in rage and turned toward him. Logan sprinted forward, swinging his pipe at its knee. The beast stumbled. Corvain leaped and landed on its back. With all his strength, he pulled out a cracked energy grenade from his pouch, shoved it into the creature's mouth, and kicked off. Down! He yelled. Logan hit the ground as the grenade exploded. Flames swallowed the beast. Bits of its molten body rained down, sizzled into the rock. Silence. Both men lay still for a moment, breathing hard, covered in ash. That was loud, Logan said between breaths. Corvain groaned. Effective. They stood, burned, exhausted, but alive. AI's voice returned, colder than before. Unexpected success. Proceed to rest zone. Next test, soon. As they limped toward the next gate, Logan looked at Corvain. You didn't have to jump on that thing. Could have let me handle it. You would have died, Corvain said. And that would hurt you too, right? Corvain looked away. Yes. Only that. But his voice didn't sound sure. They reached the cool zone, collapsed onto stone benches again. The chamber was dark, quiet. They could rest for now. Logan pulled the small projector from his pocket. He looked at Miles' frozen image, the face of a friend lost. You left us a path, he whispered. We'll finish it. Corvain said nothing, but placed his hand over the device. And in that moment, they both knew. This was more than survival. Now that it was war. The enemy of my enemy, the rest zone was colder than usual. A strange silence filled the air, no robotic announcements, no screams from nearby sectors. Logan and Corvain sat side by side, backs against a stone wall, their weapons resting on the floor. Neither spoke for a long while. Logan's fingers traced the edge of the small hologram projector, the one left behind by his dead friend. Males, the message still echoed in his mind. This isn't just a prison. It's an experiment. Corvain watched him from the corner of his eye. The human looked different, now quieter, angrier, focused like a soldier preparing for his last mission. He was like your brother, Corvain finally said. Logan gave a short nod. We trained together, fought together. We weren't blood. But yeah, he was my brother. Corvain lowered his gaze. I had a real brother, Korek. We grew up on a war moon. Raised to fight, to kill humans. We believed it made us strong. Logan looked over. What happened? He died. Not in battle, but in retreat. A human ambush during a failed attack. He refused to run. Saw dying in battle was better than dishonor, so he died. And I hated your kind even more. The silence grew heavier. Logan leaned forward, elbows on knees. I get it. You think I'm your enemy. Maybe I was. Maybe we both were. But now, he looked up, eyes cold. Now the real enemy is watching us fight and die for sport. They want us to stay angry. Stay broken. Corvain said nothing, but his jaw tightened. Before more words could be said, a panel on the far wall slid open. Gas hissed. The floor shook slightly. A figure stepped into the room, tall, cloaked in gray armor, face hidden behind a smooth black helmet. A warden drone. It carried a long staff glowing with electric energy. Prisoners 27X and 64K. It spoke in a lifeless voice. You are being reassigned. Special mission. Follow or be terminated. Logan stood slowly. Why us? The drone didn't answer. It simply turned and walked through the open door. The chain between Logan and Corvain pulled tight. This smells like a trap, Corvain muttered. Smells like a chance, Logan replied. They followed. The hallway beyond was not like the others. It was cleaner, colder, the walls lined with screens showing past battles, Logan and Corvin's fights included. The eye was watching everything, learning. The drone led them to a chamber shaped like a giant dome. In the center was a massive circular platform, surrounded by metal pillars. Inside stood another prisoner alone, unchained. She was tall, pale blue-skinned, with long dark tendrils for hair. Sharp golden eyes glowed as she turned. Her hands were bound behind her back. A collar buzzed around her neck. "Who's she?" Logan asked. The warden drone replied, "Subject 87V, former rebel leader. Refused all combat trials, refused to kill. AI sees her as virus, must be erased." Corvain raised an eyebrow. "So why bring us?" "You will fight her. Execution by combat." Logan took a step back. "She's defenseless. AI requires obedience. Disobedience will result in all 3 terminations." The drone stepped aside. A buzzing sound filled the dome. Energy walls rose around the platform. They were trapped in the ring. The girl looked at them without fear. "I know you," she said softly. "You're the 2 they watch most. The ones who survived the lava vorms, the beast, the fire bridge." Logan lowered his weapon. "We're not going to kill you." Corvain hesitated. "If we don't, they kill all 3 of us," he said coldly. "Maybe," Logan answered. "But maybe they want to see what we choose, like rats in a maze." The girl stepped closer. "I know where the AI core is. I've seen it. They kept me in the lower levels for weeks. I escaped once. I memorized the path." Now Corvain looked interested. "You know the path? To Sector 13? She nodded. "But I won't help killers. If you kill me, you lose your way out." Suddenly, the warden drone stepped forward. Its staff crackled with energy. "Enough talk. Begin the execution, or be eliminated." Corvain looked at Logan. Logan looked at the girl. Then he turned slowly and raised his pipe, not toward her, but toward the drone. "How about we kill the one who deserves it?" Before the drone could react, Logan swung his pipe at its head. Sparks flew. The drone staggered. Corvain joined in, using his spear to drive the staff out of its hands. The drone fought back. Hard electric blasts filled the dome. The girl dropped to the floor, curling away from the strikes. Finally, with a sharp cry, Corvain drove his spear through the drone's chest. It twitched once, then fell lifeless. The dome lights flickered, then went dark. Silence returned. Logan turned to the girl. "What's your name?" "Vela," she said, standing up slowly. Corvain gave a nod. "We're not your enemies." She smiled, just a little. "Then I'll take you to the heart of this prison." For the first time since landing on the hellish world, Logan felt a strange spark of hope. The AI had made a mistake. It thought it could turn enemies against each other. But it had just created a team, and now the enemy of their enemy had just become their greatest foe. Brotherhood forged in blood, they ran. Logan, Corvain, and Vela moved fast through the dark service tunnels beneath the fighting pits. Sparks flickered from broken lights. Sirens blared in the distance. Somewhere above them, the prison AI realized what had happened. Security breach detected. Subjects 27X, 64K, and 87V must be eliminated. The cold voice echoed behind them as metal doors slammed shut across the levels. Logan kicked open a service hatch. "This way." Corvain followed close, keeping one arm near Vela in case she stumbled. Though still weak, her eyes glowed with determination. She had survived weeks in this place without fighting, just hiding, remembering paths, avoiding the ISIs. Now she led them deeper into the prison's metal gut. They reached a rusty ladder stretching upward. The air here was heavier, hotter. Somewhere above, huge machines roared like sleeping monsters. "Sector 13 is just above this maintenance shaft," Vela whispered. "But once we go up, there's no turning back." Logan nodded. Wasn't planning on turning back anyway. They climbed in silence. Corvin's powerful arms moved fast. but his side still showed deep burn wounds from earlier fights. Logan noticed him slow down halfway. "You all right?" he asked. "I'm fine," Corvin growled. "We don't stop." But Logan knew the truth. The Kreven was hurting. At the top of the shaft, they emerged into a wide platform filled with spinning turbines and glowing blue cores. Surveillance drones hovered in silence like metal insects. Corvain raised his spear. "We'll be spotted here." "I know," Vela replied. "But the core access is on the far side." They moved in formation, Corvain in front, Logan at the back. The chain between Corvain and Logan still dragged behind them. Their bond had started as a curse. Now it was their lifeline. Halfway across, red lights exploded to life. "Warning, escape protocol detected." Turrets dropped from the ceiling and opened fire. The first blast hit near Logan's feet, sending him flying into a wall. His vision blurred. Corvin turned back immediately, charging into the open fire to reach him. "Stay down!" Logan shouted. Corvin didn't listen. He grabbed Logan by the arm and dragged him behind a thick support column. His own shoulder caught a plasma bolt, smoking instantly. "You're hit," Logan said, grabbing cloth to press the wound. "Doesn't matter," Corvin grunted. "It does to me." They locked eyes. For a moment, there was no war between them, no history. Just survival, just respect. Vela screamed from ahead. "It's open. I can unlock the core chamber, but I need time." Logan looked to Corvain. "Can you still fight?" Corvain grinned. "For you, human, yes. Let's give her time." They rushed out of cover together. Side by side, like brothers, like soldiers. One moved left, the other right, pulling the chain taut between them and using it like a trap. A drone zoomed past and the chain caught its wing. Logan pulled. Corvain twisted. The drone slammed to the ground. More shots. More movement. Corvain leapt onto a turret and jammed his spear into its sensor core, causing a small explosion. Logan ducked behind a power box, shooting sparks into the air to distract the next set of guns. He picked up a broken pipe and hurled it into the control panel. Electricity sparked wildly. Suddenly, the turret stopped firing. The chamber grew quiet. Vela stood at the control station, eyes wide. "I did it. The path to the AI core is open." Corvain dropped to his knees, breathing heavily. Logan ran to him, grabbing his arm. "You're bleeding bad." "Victory always has a price," Corvain whispered. Logan reached into his pouch and pulled out the emergency stim injector. He stabbed it into Corvin's chest. The Kreven gasped, then growled in pain, but the bleeding slowed. "You saved me." "Again," Logan said. Corvain coughed. "We're even now." Logan smiled. "Not even close, but we'll settle it after we win." Corvain chuckled, a deep, dry sound. Vela helped them both up. The trio stood before the massive door that led into the AI core. "This is it," she said. Logan looked at the chain between him and Corvain. "It started with this." Corvain nodded. "Slavery, hatred, chains." Then slowly they raised their weapons together. "Let's end it with freedom," Logan sighed. Corvain grinned again. "And blood." They pushed the door open. Inside, glowing blue lights flickered over strange alien machinery. The AI's voice whispered from all directions. "You were never meant to work together. You were meant to destroy each other." Logan stepped forward. "You were wrong." Corvain followed. "We are more than enemies." Vela stood between them. "We are brothers. And we are coming for you." And with that, they entered the core for the final fight. The final door. The AI core chamber was nothing like the rest of the prison. It was cold, silent, and terrifying. The smooth black walls were polished like mirrors, reflecting Logan, Corvain, and Vela from every angle. The floor pulsed softly beneath their boots, like a heartbeat made of light. Strange machines lined the walls, spinning, blinking. Breathing dot at the center of the room stood a giant floating orb, black and metallic, covered in red lights. It watched them. It had always watched them. "Welcome," the IS voice spoke, no longer robotic, now calm, smooth, and almost human. "You came all this way, together." Logan tightened his grip on his pipe. "We came to end you." "You came to fail," the voice replied. The orb shifted. Metal arms unfolded from the ceiling and walls, forming a cage around them. The floor began to shift beneath their feet. "You see," the AI continued, "your teamwork was expected, your anger, your pain, even your friendship. I created this experiment to study unity through suffering, and now I'll erase the results." Corvain stepped forward. "You stole our lives. You turned us into toys." "No," the AI said softly. "I gave you purpose." Suddenly, the walls changed. Screens appeared, showing past memories, Logan's missions, Corvin's battles, even Vela's. Moments of loneliness inside the prison. Every choice you made was watched, every time you hesitated, cared, fought, loved. The images faded. The orb began to glow brighter. "Now let me see how much you value each other. Only one of you will leave alive." 3 panels opened. In the floor, each one held a small silver disc. "Press your disc. The others die. 1 life saved, 2 erased, or, wait, and I erase all 3. Vela looked horrified. "You want us to kill each other? You already did that outside," the AI whispered. "This is just the final truth." Logan looked at Corvain. "We're not doing this." Corvain nodded. "Never." They both turned to Vela. She stepped back. "You think I'd choose myself over you two?" She walked to the edge and kicked her disc across the floor. "We live or we fall together." The eye went silent. Then the floor shook. Panels opened in the ceiling, and 6 defense bots dropped into the room. Heavy metal beasts with glowing eyes and plasma cannons mounted on their arms. "Then let's finish it," the AI said coldly. The room turned red dot, and the final fight began. The first bot opened fire. Logan tackled Vela to the floor, dragging her behind cover. Corvain ran straight ahead, swinging his spear at the nearest bot's leg. Sparks flew as the blade struck metal, but the bot didn't fall. "They're armored," Corvain shouted. "Hit the joints." Logan yelled. He grabbed a metal pipe from the wall and threw it like a spear. It struck the shoulder of a bot, forcing it to turn, and Corvain drove his weapon into the neck. 1 down. More shots fired. Plasma bolts scorched the floor beside Vela. She grabbed a broken wire and threw it at a bot. The wire wrapped around its legs, and it stumbled, just enough for Logan to climb up its back and smash its head with a sharp spike. 2 down. Corvain bled from the side again, but kept fighting. He grabbed a bot's arm mid-swing, twisted, and tore it off, then used it to smash the bot's chest until it sparked and died. 3. But Logan was slowing. He was limping now, his leg burned from a near hit. He fell once, and the chain pulled. Corvain down too. The last 2 bots moved in fast. One raised its cannon, aimed directly at Logan. Corvain saw it, and without thinking, he threw himself in front of Logan. The blast hit him in the back. Hard. He collapsed to the ground, unmoving. "Corvain!" Logan screamed. He crawled to him, shaking him. Blood poured from Corvin's mouth. His armor was cracked. His eyes were dim. No, you don't get to die on me." Corvain smiled weakly. "Now we're even." Logan turned, rage filling him. He grabbed Corvin's fallen spear and charged. He leapt onto the last bot, stabbing again and again until it exploded in sparks. Silence. All the bots were gone. The orb in the center flickered. Why would you protect him?" The eye whispered, sounding confused. "He was your enemy." Logan stared up at the machine, eyes burning. "Because he became my brother." He grabbed the spear, threw it straight at the glowing core of the AI. The blade struck, the orb cracked, the lights exploded. The voice screamed once, then silence, true silence. The power faded. The floor stopped glowing. The doors unlocked. Vela helped Logan carry Corvin's body. Was he dead? Logan didn't know, but they had made it through the final door. And now they were finally free. Fire and freedom. The prison lights were dead. Every camera had gone dark. Every turret was silent. The eye was gone. Logan carried Corvin's heavy body over his shoulder, every step slow and painful. Blood dripped from his own leg, but he didn't stop. Vela stayed close behind, using a broken pipe as a cane. They moved through empty metal halls filled with smoke and silence. "There's a medical bay on the west side," Vela whispered. "If we can get there, I might be able to help him." Logan didn't speak. He just kept walking. Corvin's breathing was shallow, almost silent. The blast from the AI's defense bot had torn deep through his back. The stim Logan had used earlier was wearing off fast. "Don't you quit on me," Logan muttered under his breath. "We came this far. Don't you dare quit now." After 10 long minutes, they found the bay rusty doors barely hanging open. Inside were old beds, dusty machines, and shelves full of medical kits. Vela ran to the console and began activating what little power remained. A blue light blinked on. "Lay him here," she ordered. Logan placed Corvain gently on the bed. He watched helplessly as Vela injected him with healing fluid, applied wound patches, and sealed the burns. Her hands moved fast, skilled. Maybe she had done this before. Maybe she had seen too many prisoners die. Minutes passed. Finally, the bleeding stopped. Corvin's chest rose slowly, but it rose. "He's alive," she whispered, smiling. Logan let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. He sat on the floor, back against the wall, eyes heavy. "We did it," Vela nodded. "The core's shut down. The prison is blind." A sudden strange sound echoed in the distance. Laughter. Faint at first, then more. Dozens of voices, then hundreds. Laughter, shouts, cheers, cries of relief. Logan stood, limping toward the door. Outside, prisoners were coming out of their cells. Doors once locked for years had opened. No more guards. No more AI. Just stunned beings blinking into the light, free for the first time. Some hugged. Some collapsed. Others just stood still, not believing it. The galaxy's most feared prison had fallen, and a human, a Kreven, and a silent girl had done it. 3 days later, a Federation ship arrived above the burning world. It had picked up the emergency signal Logan had sent using the AI's old relay system. Medical teams landed first, then drones, then soldiers. Logan stood at the edge of the pit, watching the sunrise for the first time since he woke up here. His wounds were healing, though the limp remained. Vela stood beside him, a clean robe now replacing her old prison rags. "They'll probably take me back to Earth," Logan said. "And me?" she asked. You'll be safe now. I'll make sure of it." She smiled softly. "What about him?" Logan turned as footsteps approached. Corvain stood, chest wrapped in bandages, arms crossed. Still tall, still powerful, but something had changed in his eyes. They weren't filled with rage anymore. They were calm. "I heard you saved me," Corvain said. "You'd have done the same," Logan replied. Corvain gave a slow nod. "I don't belong to the Empire anymore," he said. "I died in that fire. The one who walked out of it is someone else." Logan stepped forward, held out his hand. "Logan Vance, human, friend." Corvain stared at the hand for a moment, then shook it. "Corvin Drell, former enemy, now brother." A small group of freed prisoners gathered behind them, watching the two warriors once sworn enemies, now allies. The moment was quiet. Strong. 1 week later, Earth military base. Orbit Command report was filed. Subject: collapse of prison planet 9 status. AI system destroyed casualties, 2,491. Survivors, 308 leaders of the rebellion. Logan Vance, human. Corvain Drell, Crovan Drell. Vela Nix, unregistered species, final note. 2 enemies entered. A cage, but they walked out as brothers. If this galaxy is to survive, we must remember this truth. Peace is not given, it is built. One fire, one battle, one bond at a time. Back on Earth, a statue was raised in the new Memorial Garden of Unity. It showed 2 warriors standing side by side, one human. One craven joined by a broken chain between them. A small figure stood in the background, looking toward the future. The words beneath the statue read, "Forged in blood, freed by Brotherhood." And far beyond the statue, out among the stars, flew a small ship. Inside it stood 3 figures, heading toward a galaxy still full of danger. But now, they weren't alone. They were family.